So this was a chapter that, no lie, I've been waiting for since the original Tokyo Ghoul. It's been, I don't even know how long now, probably a year and a half, that I've been waiting to see the backstory of Kamishiro Rize. Now, honestly, this chapter just dropped so much knowledge, so much insanity. I mean, Eto with her fucking book yet again. I still can't get over how the fuck she tricked the CCG into allowing her to do that. Like, what the fuck, Eto? Why are you so beastly? Now, one of the things about this is the book. In the book, she implicates that the Washu clan are actually cooperating and helping the ghouls. Now, is she doing that just to throw people off? What's going on there? It could be that she's just trying to mislead people. However, I think there's some truth to it, and I think it's maybe their own way of cooperating with select ghouls. Maybe what she means by that is that the Washu clan are in cahoots with the V organization, which I believe does obviously have ghouls because Yoshimura was in there and Yoshimura was a ghoul. So maybe that's what they're referring to, but not necessarily, because like if you look at it, they're trying to exterminate. I mean, this chapter, for crying out loud, there's Operation Exterminate Aogiri Tree, which is filled with ghouls. So it's not that they're trying to help ghouls in particular, it's these ghouls that they're working with, I'm guessing, the V organization, and their objectives and motives. Maybe it's because the Washu clan is scared that if the V organization comes down on them, there's no hope. Maybe the V organization is just out of this world strong, so that's possibly why they're doing it. And this chapter had a nice variety of different things going on, not just like one thing or two things, like even finding out about the promise that Uri, Mutsuki, and the rest of them made in regards to Shirazu to pay his medical bills for his sister. Like, I think personally, when he died or whatever, well, he's dead, but you know, they're probably gonna reanimate him at some given point, you know, Kano or whatever with his lab. But before he died, the whole shit about, you know, let his sister die, whatever, I'm imagining he just didn't want to be a burden. I think Uri hit the nail on the head with that one. It wasn't that, you know, fuck my sister, I don't give a shit. It was more so that I don't want other people to have this burden that I've had to put on my shoulders for this entire time. And just to see the radical change yet again, do you think at the beginning of the manga, the Uri that we seen back then would do something like this? Be like, yo, any one of us make that spot, we gotta pay the medical bills, we gotta do it. Like, that is just such a radical change, and I really appreciate it, because at first I was like, this guy's gonna have to get his ass kicked at some given point, but he had some natural progression and character development, and it's like, yeah, I fucks with this Uri so much more. And once again, we have a revisit from the TV series Dexter with Torso and Mutsuki. Oh my fucking god, no lie, that shit was creepy as fuck. And the fact that this chapter dropped on Valentine's Day is like, happy Valentine's Day, bitch, let me give you your fucking legs and arms back. Like, what the fuck? That was some Dexter ice truck killer shit if I ever seen it. I don't know if that's directly inspired, but my god, that just like, it was almost identical. It just reminded me so much with him with the legs and arms. Like, it's so fucking creepy, but it worked so well. And it's finally seen, what, 60 something chapters later, Torso's obsession with Mutsuki finally coming to fruition, what he wants. And who the fuck is gonna save Mutsuki? Because you gotta think for a second. Okay, Sasaki, he doesn't give a fuck. Well, Ken Kaneki at this point, he don't really give a shit about much. I mean, he cares, but that's not on his radar right now. He's worried about Eto. He got other things on his mind. Then the Quinkett squad is kind of like, you know, they're on their own thing right now. They gotta rescue. The only people that can actually help, and I think it's going to be too late by then, is whenever Operation, you know, Exterminate Aogiri Tree and they get to Root Island. And even then, will they find him? Because he has her like in this secret little area that no one's probably going to look. Like, oh my fucking gosh, that was easily the most disturbing thing about probably most of Tokyo Ghoul, if not the entire manga. Like, he's with her fucking arms and her legs and his hands like, yeah, we gotta get married, bitch. Like, exactly what does he want from it? Is it just that he gets off to cutting off her limbs? Is it that he's gonna fucking jack himself off with one of her arms? Like, what the fuck? I really hope if Yoshimura ever gets out of that glass jar that he does not find out, if he doesn't already know, that his wife pretty much, at first at the very least, we can't confirm that entirely, that was just her doing her mission, but at first was only getting with him to find out more about the V organization. If he found that out, I know that would just destroy his heart, because he was tortured for that for, you know, his entire life up until now. Even like, you know, the thought about his wife and everything that happened and shit like that, just finding that out is fucked up as well, because that means that Eto, at the very least at first, was conceived based on bullshit, and that's probably why she's fucked up even more in the head. So like, just finding that out, that's just so fucked up, and it's so much of a shot at Yoshimura's gentle nature, and who he became because of that was all based on a lie. And something that if they ever animate this, I don't even know how they'll handle is the stuff about the RC gates, because in the anime they actually cut all that shit out. The RC gates, which pretty much, you know, if you're a ghoul, you're fucked if you walk through there. It's gonna bleep and you're getting screwed over, you're getting, you know, shot the fuck up or whatever. Finding out why it didn't go off back in the day, like, everything just makes so much sense right now. It really fucking does. That V organization members, like, they're really at the top of the food chain, which kind of makes me wonder why in the last chapter select things anyway they don't know about. But then again, it could be because Eto has cut off that part, because if you think about it, okay, if V is more so closer towards the Washu clan and the CCG, then they're not really gonna fuck with the Aogiri tree, and they're gonna be, if that's in both of their interests to get rid of Aogiri tree, which is trying to overthrow their bullshit, they're not gonna really know about Yoshimura being in Kano's lab or who the true one-eyed king is, even though that might be more info that is privy to them. But still, nonetheless, like, it makes sense now that they wouldn't know those things. And honestly, the best part of this chapter is something, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, that I was waiting for a long time, finding out about Rize, everything making sense now that she fled from the V organization. You gotta wonder, what was her role in the V organization? Was she just like hired muscle? Like, what type of, you know, role did she entail being inside there? I mean, you can see that she was a rare breed, but, you know, and it also makes sense as well in the last chapter with that V organization member saying about, you know, this Rize stuff, because she was a part of the V. Like, it's all coming together. Suishida fucking unraveling it so beautifully. And I remember in the original manga thinking to myself, what the fuck does this hulking man Shachi have to do with Rize? Why do they have the same last name, Kamishiro? Like, what the fuck is going on there? Finding out that he's her adoptive father, just everything, honestly, like, it was planned out beautifully. Like, you could tell Suishida had this perfectly written together, why everything was like such a mystery, and then why Yomo has been holding on to her. More than likely, the reason why Yomo has been doing this is because of Yoshimura's final wishes. Like, you know, he probably entrusted him with select things, because just like how he, you know, took in Toka and continued to do all these things, like, Yomo is doing this under Yoshimura's wishes, and that's probably why he's had Rize this entire time, because of, you know, the little agreement that was made between Yoshimura and Shachi. And then that ending, though, oh my gosh, I can't just stop. Like, this was a great chapter. Hands down, a great chapter. 9 to a 9.5. Arima versus Shachi. Oh my gosh, to be honest with you, I feel as amazing and as tough as Shachi probably is, Arima's still gonna get him. Arima's still gonna get him, but it would be nice if it shows that Arima is, at the end of the day, not, you know, a god, so to speak, and Shachi can at least, can he take an arm or something? But then again, we don't know the full extent of what Arima really is. Who knows? Maybe Arima is a ghoul as well. If he's part of V, and V can go through, then that means that Arima's probably half ghoul or something like that. Maybe he's the original Ken Kaneki as far as that goes. Like, there's so many different things. Or it could be that Arima's the one person in V that isn't really a ghoul. Like, so much craziness, and like, this chapter just dropped bombshell after bombshell. Great information, and it wasn't an info dump. It was done in such an enthralling way. Like, honestly, 9 to a 9.5. I would say 10, but I don't want to fanboy completely, because a lot of it was just info and then a setup at the end, but it was a fucking great chapter. Let me know what you guys think, though. What did you think about finally getting a lot of Rize's backstory, her involvement with the V, Shachi, her adoptive father? Like, what do you think about that? What do you think about the Washu clan's involvement with V organization? Is it that they're working with them? Are they working under them? Are they scared of them? Is there even any validity to it? Torso sick insanity, cutting off Mutsuki's arm. Do you think that Mutsuki is gonna eventually be a product of, like, what would have happened if Ken Kaneki was never saved back in the day when he was in his black hair days? Is that what's, like, ultimately her fate? And just everything about this chapter, what do you think? Like, a brilliant fucking chapter, one of the best chapters of Tokyo Ghoul Re thus far, delving back into the things that really mostly mattered in the beginning of the series. Rize, you know, the V organization, the backstory of Eto, the backstory of Rize, like Yoshimura. Like, yeah, this was that chapter. Favorite chapter of Tokyo Ghoul Re of 2016 for me. And your overall thoughts. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed anything about this video, make sure to drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook if you want more from me when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.